if this Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act will be strictly enforced by the Philippine government, it contradicts with the so-called innocent passage, which is guaranteed by UNCLOS.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about something that I read about the Philippines' new Maritime Zones Act
Maritime Zones
and the
Act, yeah.
Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act. Um, how does that complicate this work of coming up with a code of conduct? Does it affect it in any way? Is it a hurdle, an additional hurdle?
Yeah, this is a very important question, I think, because it has an impact. These two recently enacted laws, domestic laws of the Philippines, has to a greater extent impact when you talk about cooperative spirit in the South China among claimant states, and even when you talk about the code of conduct in the South China Sea. So there is the Philippines newly passed what you call Maritime Zones Act and the Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act are domestic laws that is aimed to strengthen, of course, the country's legal maritime claims in the South China Sea. That's I think one of the most that's one of the justification why this Maritime Zones Act and Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act was pushed and easily. Actually, it was enacted quite fast in some ways, because in my country, in the Philippines, usually the passage of certain laws or bills is not that fast. It takes time, and there's a lot of debate to it. However, when you talk about these laws, there is a critical geopolitical and diplomatic implication that could complicate rather than contribute to the some kind of a friendly teamwork that is very much required, or that's what you call cooperative spirit that is very much required when you talk about coming up with a binding China ASEAN code of conduct in the South China Sea. Why is that? Precisely because this Maritime Zones Act and our Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act are unilateral laws grounded, of course, on my country's interpretation of UNCLOS. And what they aim is to basically clarify baseline, internal waters, territorial sea, and archipelagic sea lanes. However, because of this legislation, which is unilaterally was done, in a region where you have in a Southeast Asian region, in South China Sea area, where you have overlapping claims, the Philippines is actually risking undermining the multilateral spirit of the COC negotiation and appearing to preempt the outcome of future diplomacy, because these laws are would in many ways in conflict with the interests and actually, of course, the demarcation and the sea lanes or the baselines of other countries, especially of other claimant states. So in a way, if you put these domestic laws in the regional context, in some ways it may some kind of dampen the multilateral spirit of the COC negotiation and the push for the COC to be concluded anytime soon, or at least in the next 2 to 3 years, if it could be done in that way. So that is the problem. And also the Maritime Zones Act and the Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act also, it set a precedent for other claimant states, like for example Vietnam, Malaysia, China, and Brunei, and even all of these claimant states to actually do this for them to do the same thing. Like they would also have probably come up with the same laws, domestic laws. So if you have all of these countries, claimant states having the same kind of laws, so everything is convoluted and everything becomes very complicated as well, because this will trigger what you call legalistic arms race, and then collage of very contradictory domestic laws that would not in many ways help in pushing for a negotiated and cooperative spirit of the COC. Because the
Mm.
COC, if you have to understand that the COC, the basic premise and the soul of the COC, the spirit of the COC is, it's like multilateral in a sense, and also cooperative, cooperation among countries. That, we recognize that we have dispute, but let's set it aside, or let's not touch on it. But we respect each of your claims in the South China Sea. But let's proceed with something cooperative, that something that will promote cooperation among claimant states, and would in many ways establish some kind of regularity in the South China Sea, and what you call norms and procedures, and behavior that is good for everyone, and everything is regular, and there's such a thing as everyone knows how each and every member of ASEAN and China will behave in the South China Sea. So that's really the basic assumption and the basic premise of the South China Sea. So if you have all of this claimant state will be enacting similar
Mess.
laws like Maritime Zones Act and Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act, so everything is just complicated, and I don't think the COC will be pushed in that regard. So this makes the whole, in many ways, I understand the reason why the Philippine government, especially under Marcos Jr., passed these laws, these domestic laws. Of course, it's more about assertion of our claims in the South China Sea. It's more about strengthening our claim in the South China Sea. However, if you put this in the regional context, it does impact what you call multilateral spirit and cooperative spirit, especially with reference to the code of conduct in the South China Sea. So this is the challenge at the moment, to be frank with you. So I
Mm.
don't know, and hopefully it depends also on the Philippine government if they will be pushing for a very strict enforcement of these laws. Because if you look at the most how do you call that, the most critical of all is the Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act, because this regulates innocent and archipelagic sea lane passage, which is a very sensitive issue when you talk about the South China Sea. So this Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act actually, to a greater extent, in a way, it contradicts the spirit of UNCLOS, because in UNCLOS it says that there's such a thing as innocent passage. So if this Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act will be strictly enforced by the Philippine government, it contradicts with the so-called innocent passage, which is
Innocent
guaranteed by
passage.
UNCLOS. So it becomes really complicated when you put it in the regional context. But of course, domestically, this is some kind of a well applause loss in the Philippines.